Alrighty guys, it's that time again. It's another build video here at Lost Days Gaming, and we have a good one for you today. This is my Messmer the Impaler build, a level 200 build. Right after you beat Messmer, you become Messmer yourself. His freaking spear is absolutely nuts, and I was basically using this build for the pretty much second half of the DLC. So if you guys were tuning in and watching the live streams, I was pretty much using this, the second half, pretty much all the way up to the final boss. So without further ado, let's get right into the build. Alright, so first things first, of course, we are using the Spear of the Impaler. This is the boss weapon that you get after defeating Messmer. The Ash of War on this is absolutely insane, and then I'm also using the Erdtree seal in the offhand just because it weighs nothing and we have points in the face, so I just have it in the offhand, if we want to cast, and I have the Fire Knight seal on the left hand, so that way it'll boost the incantations that I have. So it's just a preference, you don't have to use it, but I just like running with this. Now for the armor, I'm using the Messmer's Helm. This gives us a bonus in Messmer's Flame and the Fire Knight skills, along with the Fire Knight armor, which also gives us a boost in the Messmer's Flame incantations. I have the Gauntlets of Solitude and then the Young Lion's Greaves, just to give us that poise over to 53. Now as for the talismans, I have the Carrion Filigree Crest, because I'm going to be spamming this freaking Ash of War constantly. I also have the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman because it chews through stamina. I also have the Shard of Alexander, and then I also am using the Smithing Talisman, which enhances our charged R2 throw. And then as for the Flask of Wondrous Physic, I'm using the Thorny Crack tier and the Opaline Hard tier. Now you can easily switch this out for the Flame Shrouding Crack tier because we are doing a bunch of fire damage. But I like personally using the Thorny Crack tier because when you spam that Ash of War, you're going to get that buff up. But you can easily switch this out for the Flame Shrouding Crack tier. And I just like having the Opaline Hard tier just for that extra damage negation. Now, moving on to the stats of this build, I have 60 Vigor, 30 Mind, 30 Endurance, 14 Strength, just to meet the requirements of the Spear, 60 Dexterity, 16 Intelligence, 60 Faith, and 9 Arcane. Again, this is my Astrologer guy. You don't need any points in Intelligence, but the Strength is just there to meet the requirements, and I like splitting it between Dex and Faith. That way we can both cast and also deal some really good damage with our Spear. Now, as for the Spirit Summon, I like using Mimic tier for this one, because having two of me on the freaking battlefield is just absolutely insane, especially with the incantations that we have, just absolutely carries us through the DLC. Now, as for the rune, this one I am going to be using my good old Radahn's rune. That way it gives us a percentage bump into HP, FP, and stamina. And that is pretty much it for the build, guys. This is the Ash of War that you get to do with the Spear of the Impaler. Does a giant swoosh fire attack, and then you go with like 3 stabs, and then you come down, slam the spear in the ground, and if you get it all the way, the spears come up under the ground, and it deals massive damage. And then you can see what I'm doing here. The charged R2, you can just throw the spear, so you can like pick off some enemies from a pretty good distance. But as for the spells, of course I'm using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, and since we have the Faith, I'm using Black Flame's Protection as well. And then I like having the Fire Serpent, which is a new Messmer incantation. It's like a homing fire missile, which is kind of cool. It just hovers over you for a second and then just auto tracks. I have the Black Flame to just for a nice AoE option, and then I have the Black Blade to put that health debuff onto enemies. And then this freaking spell is absolutely insane. It's one of the coolest spells in the game. This is Messmer's Orb. This is the one of the other boss incantations that you can get from his remembrance. If you charge it, you just kind of float in the air, come down with a giant fireball AoE attack, and it's just absolutely badass. Just kind of cool for like doing like trash mobs, and you can kind of float in the air for a second. I don't really use it in boss fights, but just really cool incantation to have. And there you guys have it. That is my Messmer the Impaler build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I got more builds coming your way. Yes, even more coming, guys. I hope you guys are excited, and I appreciate all the love and the support that you guys are providing for the channel. We just hit over 800 subscribers, so make sure you click that bell icon, and that way YouTube will notify you every time one of our videos goes live and help us get to 1K. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next video, guys. Deuces.